Welcome back to the session on parametric test on SPSS. The last class we discussed about two important tests, namely independent sample t-test and paired sample t-test. And this second part of third session, I would like to concentrate on ANOVA test, analysis of variance. And this is a very important test which is normally undertaken by the researchers, not only in social science, but in all areas of research. Before we proceed further, let us understand what is ANOVA and what are the types of ANOVA and what kinds of conditions to be fulfilled by your data before you start taking up this ANOVA test. As we discussed earlier, independent sample test and paired sample t-test are applied when your independent variable has got two levels and the dependent variable is numeric in nature. But as far as ANOVA is concerned, the independent variable may have either three or more than three levels, more than two levels. For example, if you take education qualification, undergraduate, postgraduate, research scholars, faculty members, so there are four levels. If you consider nativity, rural, semi-urban, urban, three levels. So you take any independent variable measured in nominal data comprising of more than two levels, and when your dependent variable is a numeric data, that is, it has got either scale data or interval or ratio, whatever you call, in the situation, you frame a hypothesis stating that there is no significant difference between this particular independent variable having three levels and the dependent variable. Then you can think of conducting ANOVA. For example, I propose a hypothesis that there is no significant difference between rural, urban, and semi-urban students and the hours they spend on WhatsApp every day. So this is one assumption which can be tested using ANOVA. Fine. This is about independent variable and dependent variable. And what about your dependent variable? As I told you, it should be numeric in data and it should be normally distributed. As we discussed in the last class, you have to check whether the data is normally distributed or not by using either a scatter plot or histogram or skewness or kurtosis, or you can conduct one sample case test to verify whether your data is normally distributed or not. Now, apart from these two, you have to see whether the three levels of three groups of respondents what you have, they have equal variance in respect of dependent variable. So variance should be equal among three groups of respondents. If these three conditions are fulfilled, then you can think about conducting ANOVA. ANOVA has got many variations. We have one-way ANOVA, we have two-way ANOVA, we have three-way, four-way, whatever may be ANOVA. We have MANCOVA, we have ANCOVA, something like many different kinds of analysis of variance are there. But in today's session, we'll talk about only two things. One is one-way ANOVA and another one is two-way ANOVA. Fine. And this ANOVA tells you whether there is a significant difference among either three or more than three groups of respondents. For example, if you conduct a test among three groups of professors, assistant professors, associate professors, and professors, in terms of number of their publications, then ANOVA will tell you whether there is a significant difference between or among these three groups of respondents. But what ANOVA will not tell you is that whether the difference is because of the difference existing between assistant professors and associate professors, or associate professors and professors, or professors and assistant professors. So now we have got three pairs of comparisons. The difference between which two groups cause the main difference in the ANOVA test. Please understand, ANOVA tells you whether there is a significant difference or not. but it does not spell out which pair of variants, which pairs of data, which pairs of respondents have caused the difference. So that information will not be disclosed by ANOVA. So to unearth that, we go to another step called post hoc test or planned comparison. So we'll talk about one-way ANOVA, post hoc test, planned comparison, and two-way ANOVA. This is what you are going to see today. So let's go to our start SBSS home screen. This is a screen. Let me click on open another file. I click OK. It asks for the file. So I select desktop, then SPS online course, final data set. Then I select ANOVA. Then open. The file is open now. You can see here, first true columns we'll take for the one-way ANOVA analysis. This is type, this is minutes. The second column denotes I have collected data from around 30 respondents. Here minutes means number of minutes they have taken to solve a puzzle, to solve an anagram. Anagram means jumbled words. Okay. Every respondent was given 5 anagrams, and we divided the respondents into 3 groups. First few respondents, around 10 respondents, they were given a hint on the first letter. And second group, 10 respondents were given the last letter of the word. And third group, we have not given them any hint. So 3 groups. First group, we have given them what is the first letter of the word. Second group, we have told them what is the last letter of the word. And third group, we have not given them any hint. And we asked them to complete the anagram and the number of minutes they have taken to complete the anagram is given in the minutes column. So I got one dependent variable called types of hints given, and one dependent variable called minutes, time taken by them. So let me go for one-way ANOVA. Go to analyze. In analyze, go to compare means. In compare means, go to one-way ANOVA. So I just repeat it: analyze, compare means, and in compare means you go for one-way ANOVA. Fine. So the screen appears here. Now I'll find out minutes, the dependent variable. I send it to dependent list. I select the type, that is 3 groups of 3 levels of respondents. That is a factor, that is an independent variable. I'll send it to factor. Let me go back to options, click on options, select descriptive statistics, homogeneity of variance, then 2 other tests, Brown, Force, and Welch test. I'll tell you later on why do we need these 2 tests also. Click on continue, click on OK, and you'll get the result. Let us take a look on first table descriptives. First group, those who got first letter, their mean time to complete the anagrams is 15 minutes. Those who got last letters, they took 24 minutes. Those who did not get any hint, they took 28 minutes to complete the anagram. So the mere looking, the observation of the mean itself tells that there is a difference between the participants because there is a variation in their mean score. And as far as standard deviation is concerned, we can see that the score is spread more. The spread is more in case of respondents, those who do not get any hints. In standard error, as I told you, standard error is the standard deviation of the sample distribution. It tells about the 90% confidence interval, the population's lower limit and upper limit. And the main important is test of homogeneity of variance. So you have to see whether this data, what we have taken for analysis, fulfills this particular condition or not. What is the condition? The group should have equal variance in respect of dependent variable. How to check it? You just see the sig value. If the sig value is more than 0.05, it means that the homogeneity of variance can be assumed, and you can go and check the result of ANOVA test. In case the result of homogeneity of variance, the sig value, if it is less than 0.05. If it is less than 0.05, then it means that the homogeneity of variance assumption is not met in this case, and we cannot look for ANOVA test result. Instead, come bit down, you have to look for the result available under the column 6 for Wells test and the Brown-Force test. So these tests are to be considered. One, the data what you have is not fulfilling the assumption of homogeneity of variance. But luckily in our case, the data assumes the homogeneity of variance. So I can go ahead with ANOVA test. In the ANOVA test, you can see here, two lines are there. One is between groups and within groups. Between groups means, is there any difference between the groups? We have got 3 groups. Among 3 groups, data will be analyzed and answer will be given. Within groups means the variability what we have within our groups, which we cannot control for, which we cannot compute. Here, sum of squares, you know very well, sum of square is nothing but you find out the deviance of each and every observed item from the mean value. You multiply the item by itself and then you square it. Then you total all the differences. What you get is sum of squares. Then divide them by degree of freedom. You will get a mean square. Mean square is the variance. Mean square is the variance. The variance disclosed by our between group difference is much higher, and the extent to which we cannot compute, we cannot explore the answer is only 13, very less percentage. If you look at the sig value, it says that it is less than 0.05. It means that we can reject null hypothesis and we can accept the alternative hypothesis. That is, there is a significant difference in the minutes taken by the respondents of 3 groups. Those who got first letter as hint, those who got last letter hint, and those who did not get any letter as hint. So there is a difference among the groups. Thus, ANOVA tells that there is a difference among the groups. But this ANOVA table, this ANOVA result will not tell you whether the difference is between first letter group and last letter group, or last letter and no letter group, or first letter and no letter group. So we don't know which pair has caused this difference. So to find out this difference, you can think of conducting 2 different techniques. One is a planned comparison and another is post hoc test. Okay, let us see them one by one. Fine. A question comes here. Sir, you talked about 2 analysis. One is post hoc and another is planned comparison. What is the difference between these 2? Let us see here. Go to compare means, one way ANOVA, and here there's an option called post hoc. The same test I'm going to conduct again by adding one more item to a test called post hoc test. Okay, fine. Post hoc test. So analyze, compare means, one way ANOVA. So compare means one way ANOVA. Let us see. Okay, it's here. One way ANOVA table is here, and here I select post hoc. In post hoc, many tests are there, and we know that the homogeneity of variance is assumed. So you can select any one from the first part of this box. The most widely used post hoc test is Tukey HSD, highly significant difference. So I have opted for Tukey. I click continue. Let all the remaining things be there as such. That means options I selected descriptive, homogeneity of variance, Brown-Force, and Wells. Continue and then OK. So same test, same variables. I did one more option. I added one more option by name, post hoc. Let us see the result now. Descriptive table, homogeneity of variance. ANOVA says that there is a difference, but we wanted to find out between which 2 groups there is a difference. So here you can see the result, post hoc test. Here, all the 3 possible pairs of comparisons were made by SPSS. First letter is compared with the last letter and no letter. last letter is compared with the first letter and no letter. No letter is compared with the first letter and last letter. So all the possible comparisons are made. And you can see here the mean difference, standard error, and the sig value, which is very, very important. The sig value tells you between which two groups the real difference exists. So you can see there is a significant difference between first letter, those who received first letter, and those who received last letter. There's a difference. In the same way, there's a difference between the groups of respondents, those who received first letter and those who received last letter. That means no letter. So there is a difference between first letter and last letter groups, and there's a difference between first letter and no letter groups. But here it says that in respect of the group last letter and no letter, there is no significant difference because the sig value is more than 0.05. So there are significant difference between two pairs of respondents. Okay, first letter, last letter, there is a difference. First letter, no letter, there is a difference. But there is no difference between these two groups of respondents, namely last letter, those who got last letter, and those who did not get any letter as a hint. Fine. So to get this kind of exact pairs which have caused a difference, I have conducted post-hoc test. Fine. So when you know exactly, when you don't have any planned comparison, you don't have any planned way of doing comparison, you can go for this kind of post-hoc test, where all possible comparisons will be checked and you'll be getting the answers whether what kinds of groups or which groups have caused a real difference. Is it fine? Now let us see what is a planned comparison. Planned comparison means, for example, let us go to our working table. Let me go to analyze, compare means, and one-way ANOVA. And here I go to post-hoc and I uncheck it because I don't want post-hoc. I want to conduct a planned comparison. Here there is an option for the contrast. See, I have taken the same independent variable, same dependent variable, but instead of conducting post-hoc analysis, I want to conduct planned contrast. Just, for example, you click analyze, compare means, one-way ANOVA, and then after selecting dependent variable and independent variable, you go to contrast menu, and you can see here what kind of planned comparison you can make. So you can group the variables by yourself and you can look for the difference in the comparison. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make two pairs now. How? Those who received first letter, those who received last letter will be combined into a single group. I want to check this group against the third group. That means the group which did not get any hint. So I want to compare these two groups. So this kind of planned. So before doing the comparison, I can plan which two groups are to be compared. So I have planned now. To do so, I should create the coefficients. The coefficient should be always equal to 0. That means that if you assign -1 and -1 to two groups, then you have to assign +2 for the second group so that the coefficient becomes 0. For example, I add -1 for the first group. I want to add minus in second group. So first and second groups will be combined a single group. This group will be compared with the second group, namely no letter group. So I just type to add. So that the coefficient total should be always 0. Here you can put any number, maybe -5 plus 10, or -100, -100 plus 200. But the result should be coefficient total should be 0. So I have decided to have a planned comparison. Click on continue, click on OK here, and you will get the same result of descriptive statistics, homogeneity of variance, ANOVA. But here you'll get two different tables. The bottom you can see contrast coefficient. It says that the first letter group we have allotted -1, last letter -1, no letter 2. Okay, you have to know that. Now let us see. Come to the bottommost table whether there is a difference between these two groups. Here there are two answers. If equal variances are assumed, then we have to look at the first row. If equal variances are not assumed, you have to look at the second row. Let us go up to see the homogeneity of variance. So it is more than 0.05. So homogeneity of variance is assumed. So we can very well look at the answer given at the first row. You can see here value of contrast, standard error, t-value, degree of freedom, and our answer lies here, sig value. The answer is 0.000. It means that the sig value is less than the core value of the significant level of 0.05, and so the null hypothesis rejected and the alternative hypothesis accepted. That is, there is a significant difference between first group and second group of participants with regard to the time taken by them to complete the puzzles or anagrams. What is the first group? Those who received first letter or last letter as hint. What is second group? The students, the participants, those who did not get any kind of hint. Fine. So this way you can go for either post hoc test or you can go for planned contrast in the one-way ANOVA. Fine. I think it's clear. Now let me go back again. Let us go to analyze, compare means, then one-way ANOVA, choose the dependent variable and independent variable, go to options, descriptive statistics, check for homogeneity of variance, okay, and then go to either post hoc or contrast as per your research requirements. I think it's clear to you. Now, let me go to the next test called two-way ANOVA. So what is the difference between this one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA? Is very simple. Both are exactly the same procedures, same techniques, same steps. The only difference is that in the case of one-way ANOVA, we have taken one independent variable and one dependent variable. This is one independent variable and this is one dependent variable. But here, we are going to take two independent variables. So we are going to see the effect of two independent variables on a single dependent variable. See, for example, I have taken two independent variables. What are they? One is experience. For example, I have taken 24 respondents, those who are working in a factory. Out of them, 12 are having experience and 12 are not having experience. So this one independent variable, experienced employees, non-experienced employees. And there's another independent variable called a machine, whether it is an old machine or a new machine. Okay, fine. So what we are going to test is that, see, we are going to find out whether experienced persons, those who are working on the new machine, experienced employees working on the old machine, unexperienced employees working on old machine, unexperienced employees working on new machine. So we've got four different sets of data now. Now, what we have done is that we have asked these employees to work on the machines and we recorded how many mistakes, how many errors they committed over a period of time. The number of mistakes they did were recorded. Fine. So two independent variables, the experience of the employees, the type of machine. Whether these two independent variables, either individually or collectively, have any impact on the errors. So what is my hypothesis? There is no significant difference between, there is no significant impact of experience of the employees and machine type on the number of errors committed by them. So I have going to apply two-way ANOVA, wherein we are going to check the effect of two independent variables on a single dependent variable. Fine. So let me go to analyze. In analyze, please come to general linear model, GLM, and click on univariate, because we are going to discuss about one dependent variable. So the dependent variable, you send number of errors, and the fixed factors, you send experience, again you send machine. So I've got one dependent variable and two independent variables. I'm going to conduct two-way ANOVA. Fine. I click options. I want a descriptive statistics, mean, median, and standard deviation. I want homogeneity of test. I selected two things placed on a display. I click continue. And here, once options are selected, and I'm going to conduct this two-way ANOVA, click on OK. You can see here now, the results have come. First table tells how many respondents, and second table is descriptive statistics. By have a look at descriptive statistics, you can infer something. For example, if you take the employees, those who are not having any experience, if you see the mean errors they commit, you can understand The number of errors they commit while they are working on old machine and new machine, both are almost same, 5.8 and 5.50. But if you take experienced respondents, the mean errors they commit on new machine is more than the number of the mean errors they had experienced with the old machine. But if you take the overall performance, you can understand that the number of errors are less in old machine and more in new machines. So you could guess that some difference is there. Okay, come, let us calm down. Let us come to homogeneity of variance. You can find out that the sig value is more than 0.05. It means that equality of variance can be assumed. So no problem. We can go ahead with the ANOVA test. Let us come to the last test. Test of between subject effects. The table which tells you the results of two-way ANOVA. You can see here. Corrected model, sum of squares, it tells you the total variance. And here you can see three columns which are very important for us to interpret this data: experience, machine, and experience and machine taken together. Okay, fine. Let us see here now. If you take experience and the p-value is 0.211, which means that the p value is more than the significant level of 0.05. So it means that the independent variable experience is not having that significant impact on the errors committed by the employees. Fine. And you take machine. So what is the sig value for machine? 0.000. It means that this is less than 0.05. It means that the null hypothesis is rejected, and so there is a significant impact of type of machine on the errors committed by the respondents. Fine. So we have seen individually what is the impact of experience, what is the impact of machine on the errors committed by the employees. But here we can combine, we can try to find out the combined effect of experience of the employees and types of machines on the errors committed. Here you can understand that when experience and machine come together, and there is a significant impact because sig value is less than 0.000. And here you can understand that the error 18 denotes that this is the value which cannot be accounted for. We cannot explain what is this. But our variables, both individually and combined, they will be able to express this much amount of variability in the data. If you come down, R squared value is 0.859. It means that 85.9% of variance of the dependent variable can be accounted for, can be explained by our two independent variables, namely experience and machine, and experience and machine taken together. So this is what the whole two-way ANOVA. Now, I think you might have got it. To get the two-way ANOVA, you go to analyze. In analyze, compare means. In compare means, go for one-way ANOVA, you can conduct one-way ANOVA. To do two-way ANOVA, come to analyze, general linear model, click on univariate, you can go for two-way ANOVA. I think it's clear. And these SPSS files also will be shared with you, and you can try to have a hands-on experience with these files with your SPSS. And I think that's about first part of parametric test. The next slide, the next video, we will talk about the second part of parametric test. Till then, bye from you. Thank you so much.